seconds left. Jones off a pick.
You talking that stuff already? Look, man, when I start showing up on magazine covers, don't be jealous, all right?
That's right?
Yeah.
How don't we make it a little challenge? Yeah. You outscore me tonight, I'll admit on social media that you're the better player. If I outscore you, you have to try to do the same.
Man, that's the easiest bet I ever made.
A word?
Yeah.
Let's find out.
Yesterday, I finally ran into him, Jackson Ellis. Now, I have to go over the game film like I did before the game and after the game because you can try to judge an opponent based off of how they play other players. But, like Floyd Mayweather said, what's the point of watching tape if you're not going to fight me the same way that you fought everybody else? So I'm going to go over this tape so that way the next time I go up against him, I know what he's like when he fights me. Now, I made some good passes in transition. I made some good passes in the half court. I passed out a double team. Only passed out a shot when necessary. But at the same time, he was doing the same thing to me. He's gotten much better. He's no longer the one-man wrecking crew that he used to be. And I'm pretty happy that they had the both of us mic'd up before the game because I'm pretty sure that regardless of who won the challenge, it would have been hell trying to get either one of us to actually live up to it. A lot of people know my beef with Jackson. He went to a big-name school and I went to a mid-major. I made a name for myself with the little I had at Manhattan College. All I had was Steve Masiello and he trusted me and now here I am. I'm a lottery pick in the NBA. You gotta show up in the tournament when you get your chance. Unfortunately we didn't finish, but a lot of the best players haven't finished. And anybody who knows me and Jackson Ellis's beef, they know that I like to play intense defense on him. I'm kinda like a Carmelo and LeBron situation where when I play against him, my defense rating, my DBOA, and efficiency just skyrockets. But he does the same with me. Or at least he tries to. Like, he just caught me with a charge. I gotta be more aware that next time in the future, he shifts his feet a little bit, and I think he might have got a rookie superstar call, but that's why we watch the game film, so we can get used to that, because other people, they don't generally go for stuff like that. He's a very crafty player and he'll get in your head. That's something I definitely noticed in the scouting report. And if they paid attention to the scouting report, they would know that my dunks were ferocious. That was a SportsCenter top 10 dunk that night. And I'm really proud of it. Sure, LeBron may have dunked on him earlier inside the season, but I think my dunk almost killed Ben McLemore. And then the insult to injury, I'm really happy I didn't get a technical foul. But that moment was great because it became this year's version of LeBron and Jason Terry. It became this year's version of DeAndre Jordan and Brandon Knight. For a rookie, I've had a lot of highlights so far, but that one's definitely going to go on my top 10 reel at the end of the season. I don't know, I check YouTube every once in a while to see if somebody's made some sort of mixtape or something of my half season so far, but you know, I'm not the most liked player in the league because of my responses. Although I'm a very polarizing figure. People love the way I play, but at the same time, I hold my tongue for no one. My intentions are clear. I'm not going to be a role model. I'm basically Charles Barkley. I don't play this game for money. My contract sucks. I get like 500 VC a year. What am I going to do with that? I'm playing because I love the game. Although I do wish I was playing a little better in this one. Jackson Ellis pretty much had my number. He slowed me down tremendously inside this game. I had to get crafty with my finishes. I tried to switch them up with pump fakes, head fakes, trickier footwork, whatever it takes, because he himself is actually becoming a defensive stalwart in the league among rookies also. It's pretty much me, Victor Oladipo, and Jackson Ellis as the only real three shutdown players when it comes to wing rookies. And I've been working with a strength coach. My pick and roll game has got much better. I can clear a lot of space with my picks. I'm a very good outlet after the pick on top of that. I made it a goal to put on a lot of muscle rather than size during the preseason because at times like this, when Jackson Ellis reads the defense and realizes that we're going for the same play twice, I have to be able to adjust and take the contact at the rim. I got to be a finisher for my team because one thing we're lacking in Milwaukee is we're lacking a finisher and we're lacking outside shooters. We have Kevin Martin. Unfortunately, my brother from another mother, Chase Bottinger, Wow, I forgot all about that play. That was exciting. I mean, that goes in my top 10 also, but it's not going to beat the Ben McLemore dunk. But Chase Budinger, he got injured early inside the season. It may have benefited me and Corey Brewer before we traded Corey, but I really miss having him there because he stretched the floor out for the rest of the team. Ricky Rubio, he's not much of a shooter. Alexis Chavez thinks he's a shooter. He just likes to shoot the ball whenever he gets it, unfortunately. And I was playing some great defense in this game against Jackson Ellis. He had a tough time holding the ball. I think maybe I was reversing his ability to get into my head. Instead, I was getting into his head because he really started to make mistakes and we started to claw away at the lead. Another good shooter we have actually is Kevin Love. But the problem is that right now he's beefing with coach. I think it's because of the problems me and him had earlier inside the season. But Kevin Love, we need him out there on the court. Alexis Chavez wasn't shooting well, but he just loves to shoot the basketball. He just loves the offensive half of the game. And it gets frustrating at times because he's a young guy. He's about, I think, a year younger than me, and he doesn't realize that sometimes you just have to trust your teammates. You're not overseas anymore. You're not the best player on the team. I hate to say it. You're a complimentary role player, but you know, it's hard. We have a language barrier, so it's hard to explain it to him. And don't get me wrong, I do the same thing at times. There's times where I don't want to hit a criticism either because I feel that I'm the primary offensive weapon and coach usually tells them to play through me. In situations like that, I do get my teammates involved. Sometimes I do think that people get empty assists and they just rack up their numbers, but I feel like times like that, that's when the assists really come in. And Jackson, he caught me with a few fakes in this game. I gotta pay attention to him. I gotta look at his eyes. I was watching his hips too much inside this game, and it really had me jumping inside the wrong direction in anticipation of maybe getting a quick steal. It was good the first few times, but it's not gonna work every time. But with a quick look away and a fast first step, I managed to close the lane that he thought he had open and create some points in transition. At this point in the game, it was the fourth quarter, and we had been climbing our way back, so Coach Adelman, he was telling us to create some chaos, take some chances out there, because playing conservatively was not getting the job done. We had just under 10 minutes to go, and we managed to claw the lead away. Like, we were down by about 15 at some point, and we just, with a good combination of open shots, some pump fakes, and some great pass defense, we managed to really slow them down. The only person we had a problem with was Jackson Ellis and DeMarcus Cousins, but only when they were on the floor together. When they were separated, we did a much better job at neutralizing them. And when they both tried to come over and defend me, I had a very fast first step, and with a quick look, I jumped in between the both of them and then finished in traffic. That's when the strength, the quickness, and the basketball IQ come into play. Like all of those drills I did in the summer, like just getting my strength up in terms of like lifting, all of the tire drills, all of the running in the sand, running underwater, everything I was doing, it comes into play at the times when you need them most. This is the clutch time. We're down by 3, and I'm inside the post against a bigger player, Carl Landry, but it doesn't matter because I'm confident in my abilities based off of my skill set and progression through the season. Being given the keys to the team pretty much gave me the confidence I needed. I just took my game to a whole nother level. In the final 5 minutes, that's what's considered clutch time by most NBA analysts and commentators at least. So this is the point where I really tried to go stress in practice, and it comes in handy now because this is the time of the game when the fresh legs are done. The bench is tired, the stars are especially tired, and when it's a close game, this is when all of the stamina drills come into play. I raise my stamina so I can be on the court longer, and it helps at times like now. I'm a hardened player, that's my personality. I deal with fatigue better than most players out there. But when we're not playing good defense, it just infuriates me. But I gotta stay calm because we're only down by 4, and it's the final 2 minutes. I tried to create some chaos, but Jackson Ellis, he managed to get back into the picture. But I still gotta just shadow the guy. I gotta leave him a little bit of space, but not enough to really do anything with. I was harassing him on defense, and he was giving me the Rip Hamilton treatment, just constant off-ball offense movement. He was making me work, but you know Fat Boy can't last that long. After a while, he's gonna get tired. He has a lot of weight on those legs. You see how chubby his cheeks are? And we were in the final 2 minutes officially at this point, and we gave up a foul. Ricky Rubio, he's trying to play some good defense. He was. Grievous Vasquez just had the size advantage. And when you make contact, especially with rip-throughs kind of like that, they're just going to give it to the bigger player most times. They're going to assume that the only way you stopped him is by fouling him or being too physical. And in the final 2 minutes, coach put Spates into the game, and I was surprised he put Maurice in because normally he likes to have Kevin for the offense to space the floor, but he knew that we needed to come back and he'd rather go with defense than offense. It was a risky move, but hey, he stopped DeMarcus, and DeMarcus was having his way the entire game. I had been lighting it up in the fourth quarter. It was a team effort. I was trying to get my team involved, but they really trusted me and they just told me to take over. I was getting stopped a lot earlier, but I took advantage of Jackson Ellis' tired legs at this point. He couldn't keep up with me. He didn't have enough horses in this race. And my layup managed to cut it down to a 1-point game. We had to fight back so much to get here. And I knew we weren't going to get the ball out of little Isaiah's hands, so we had to foul him. And on the first shot, he made it, and on the second shot he made it, so we needed to go for the 3 for the tie so we can go to overtime. I don't like overtime, but you have to do what you have to do. In this moment, I had pictured it for so long. Ever since I lost to his team in the rookie showcase, the Rising Stars game, I wanted this bad. So I got the ball back off of a play we designed from the inbound, and with the high screen I had an open shot for the tie! And I missed it. I lead the league in 3-point percentage with 57% made. And in the time when it finally mattered, I missed it.
It was a huge game for you. It's apparent you gave it everything you had putting up those crazy numbers. How disappointing is it then to come away with the loss?
Man, I know we're not supposed to go on about it and say each game counts the same, but to be honest, this one hurt, man. Credit to the other team, but we let ourselves get behind at the wrong times here. In the end, it didn't matter how much I scored when we couldn't find a way to end the game the way we needed to. Not much else you can do, man.